Rocks, Erosion, and Fractions by Mackenzie Smith and Ellie Squire.
Erosion changes the surface of the earth. It breaks up and carries rocks and soil, causing landforms to become smaller.
The plain is the land in front of the picture. A plain is a relatively flat piece of land.
This is a gorge. A gorge is a narrow passage between steep, inclined sides.
This is a canyon. A canyon is the land between two rock cliffs that has been eroded over time by wind and/or water.
Fractions can have different numerators and denominators, but that doesn't mean they're not the same.
If we have 7/8 of a pepperoni pizza and 21/24 of it, do we have the same amount of each pizza?
In order to figure out if we have the same amount of both pizzas, we have to look at a common denominator. When we look at our original denominators, we can see that 8 is a factor of 24. This means that we multiply 8 times 3 to get a denominator of 24. Because we multiplied the bottom by 3, we have to multiply the top by 3. 7 times 3 is 21. So our new fraction is 21/24.
This means that we have the same amount of pepperoni and cheese pizzas.
Just like we can find fractions of our pizzas, we can use them to compare other things. When erosion occurs, it takes away a fraction of the land. This means we can compare the fractions of land that are left after erosion.
The plain and the gorge have both experienced erosion, but to different degrees. The plain has 3/4 of its original landmass left, but the gorge has 7/12. Which one has more of the original land left? As we practice, we have to find a common denominator. Once we have our common denominator, we can see the plain has 9/12 of its original landmass left, and the gorge only has 7/12 of its original landmass left.
The gorge and the canyon have both been largely eroded. The gorge has 7/12 of its original landmass left, but the canyon has 1/3 of its original landmass left. Which one has the greatest amount of original land left? Once we find our common denominator, we see the gorge has 7/12 of its original landmass left, while the canyon has 4/12 of its original landmass left. This makes the gorge bigger.
The canyon started out as a plain. Over time, it experienced much erosion. If the plain started with 3/4 of its original land, and the canyon started with 1/3, which one has the greatest amount of original landmass left? With common denominators, the plain becomes 9/12 and the canyon is 4/12. This means that the plain has more landmass left.
All of these landforms have experienced erosion. If the plain started with 3/4 of its original landmass, the gorge with 7/12 of its original landmass, and the canyon with 1/3 of its original landmass, how can these formations be ordered from largest existing landmass to smallest? With the common denominators, the plain is 9/12, the gorge is 7/12, and the canyon is 4/12. In order from largest to smallest, it would be plain, gorge, and canyon.
Credits.